This is the End Zone. Let's move the chains. The Spring League coming Tuesdays and Wednesdays this October on FS1. QB rooms have been announced for the Spring League, and interesting names are coming up and playing this October. A lot of these guys you're going to find familiar, especially if you've kept up with the channel. We're going to go ahead and do a ranking. Now, after doing two quarterback rankings with the AAF and the XFL, with these Spring Leagues, it is really, really hard to pin which players are going to pan out and which will not, because a lot of these guys just don't have recent tape, and we're really basing most of our knowledge and our opinions on their college career and little of what we've seen in their professional career. So with that being said, these rankings could go either way. You can make a case for any of these quarterback rooms to be number 1 or number 6. So let's dive in. At number 6, we have the Generals. Zach Mettenberger and Brian Scott are officially Generals. I liked what I saw from Mettenberger at the Memphis Express, but he was injured, and a month later, the AAF folded. No XFL teams decided to draft him, which actually really surprised me, but could that be a sign that maybe Mettenberger has not gotten better from his injuries, or maybe he's just not gotten better as a player? Scott was actually one of the best players in the Spring League in 2018, but he has hopped between the NFL and CFL in his professional career. At number 5, I have the Blues, headed by former 5-star gunslinger Shea Patterson. The Blues also have Jackson Erdman. Now, Patterson was a really solid college quarterback. I like what I saw from him at Michigan after he transferred from Ole Miss. 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions in his final year. Now, Jackson Erdman is a small school guy from St. John's who threw for over 5,000 yards and 47 touchdowns. I could easily move this room up. I feel like this room has a lot of potential. It's a pretty young one. He's got a really big arm, and I like what I'm seeing from the Blues. At number 4, I have the Jousters. Now, I am biased because I love quarterbacks with speed, and we're going to get that with Quentin Flowers, who, coming from the XFL, he is a speedster. If he can just develop into a better passer, this offense can be scary. Also, Carter Stanley. I know people are going to make your jokes. He's from Kansas, but he was pretty good given the circumstances at Kansas, especially his final year. Definitely more of a prototypical true passer than Flowers, but they both complement each other well. At number 3, the Alphas, and this one is surprising. Former Ohio State Buckeye star JT Barrett comes down from a couple years in the NFL and in practice squads. Now listen, if he can improve on what we saw in college, the sky is the limit, and that I cannot wait to watch him sling the rock this year. Also, they have Chase Forcade, who's a much younger guy. He's from the FCS ranks. He finished 2019 at Nicholls State with a 67.7% completion percentage, but a 17-12 touchdown to interception ratio. So I don't really know. I haven't really watched much film on him, but I do like what I see from the room as a whole from the Alphas. Number 2, the Conquerors. Now, this is a sleeper room for me. It's because I love Justin McMillan. I was a fan of him in college. He was incredible at Tulane as a dual threat weapon after transferring in from LSU. They also have Kevin Anderson, a former CFL guy who should bring some needed experience to that room, but I think that Justin McMillan is a true dual threat quarterback who can really be dangerous in the Spring League. And at number 1, I have the Aviators. Now, McLeod, Bethel Thompson, and Keller Christ seem like the most well-rounded room in the league. Now, they are also kind of the most seasoned room. Bethel Thompson threw for 4,000 yards in the CFL last year, along with 26 touchdowns. He's been in the CFL for a while. He has been a starter, so he knows how to lead a team. Christ played for Stanford and transferred to Tennessee before playing in the Spring League in 2020 in a showcase. He threw 10 for 16, 142 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Played very well. Now, again, these rankings could go any way. You could switch them up. Obviously, there's a lot of bias for some of the players that I've seen recently, but what I've noticed is a lot of these quarterbacks are much younger than what other leagues have gone for, and I'm all here for it. I always thought that was a good idea. I'm excited to watch the Spring League coming Tuesdays and Wednesdays on FS1. Thanks for watching the End Zone. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment so we can move the chains.